When we consider the quest to Mount Doom, there is a sentence that should keep you up at night. Between the Shire and the fire, the most dangerous object in the world came within a hair of falling into the wrong hands, not once, not twice, but 5 separate times. 5 near misses where one bad second would have handed Sauron back his missing piece and ended every free people in Middle-earth. The films soften the fact that it would not have mattered whose hands it landed in. A wraith on a dark road, a good man in a weak moment, a wizard who knew better, the Dark Lord himself, or the gardener-hearted hobbit carrying it. Every one of those endings leads to the same place. Sauron, whole again, on a throne made of everyone else. The ring just needs you to be close and to want something. It does not really need you to be evil. Tonight on Fool of a Tube, we walk the whole road from Bag End to the Cracks of Doom and count the 5 times the quest nearly died, maybe a little ranking too. Some you know. At least one you have probably argued about online. Boots on. The very first leg of the journey is also one of the most dangerous, and most people remember it as a chase scene rather than what it in reality was, a slow-motion manhunt by 9 immortal bloodhounds. Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin left the Shire on foot, carrying the ring like a slightly worrying family heirloom, and behind them rode the Nazgul, mortal kings hollowed into wraiths, sniffing for the one thing their master wanted back. On the very first night out, a black rider stopped in the lane right beside Frodo, who was pressed into cover off the road, and Frodo felt an almost gravitational urge to slip on the ring. That rider left on its own. Later the same night, when another drew near, a passing company of elves came singing to Elbereth, and it withdrew into the dark. What's chilling is that the ring wanted him to put it on. Every time a rider got close, the pull strengthened, and if he had given in even once, he would have lit up like a flare in the wraith world. Putting the ring on near a Nazgul is the fantasy medieval equivalent of hiding from a shark by pouring blood on yourself. The only thing between the ring and Sauron on that first stretch was a handful of terrified hobbits. No Aragorn or Gandalf with them yet. Just chance, elvish timing, and Frodo's refusal to do the one thing the ring kept whispering. And the funny thing is, Tolkien tells us most of the 9 were, frankly, not very good at the close-up part of the job. The 2 who searched the prancing pony could not even tell the ring was upstairs in the same building. 9 legendary Wraith Kings defeated by a flight of stairs. The real danger was the Witch King and his lieutenant Camul, the only 2 who could sense the ring properly, which is why Weathertop nearly became the end of the story. A strong start to our journey through near misses. If the road was the ring trying to escape to its master, Amon Hen is the ring trying a different trick entirely. It starts recruiting instead of running. By the breaking of the fellowship, the company has to choose Mordor or Minas Tirith. Frodo walks off alone to think, and Boromir follows him. What makes this the scariest entry in the list is that Boromir is not a villain. He is a brave, exhausted soldier watching his city die, and the ring reaches him through responsibility instead of greed. The temptation does not entirely sound like evil. It sounds like a war hero making a case. The ring would give me power of command. How I would drive the hosts of Mordor, and all men would flock to my banner. Then the mask slips, and gently does not stay gentle. You can say that I was too strong and took it by force. And then he lunges. Frodo escapes the only way he can, by jamming the ring on and vanishing, which is its own danger we will come back to. But let's talk about the near miss. If Frodo had been a half step slower, the ring would have left for Gondor in the hands of a good man, and a good man is exactly the raw material it likes best. And the moment Frodo is gone, Boromir comes back to himself, weeping, "A madness took me." But it has passed. The madness was never his. It was the ring, trying on his decency. If you have ever justified a bad decision with, "But it's for everyone else's good," you have heard the sales pitch. It is why Boromir dies redeemed, full of arrows, guarding the hobbits he failed. This one is sneaky because the closest the ring ever got to Gandalf was not a battle. It was a quiet offer in a hobbit hole, and it terrified him more than any Balrog. Back in Bag End, Frodo holds it out. "Will you not take the ring?" And Gandalf, a spirit who has stared down far worse, recoils like the thing is white-hot. "Do not tempt me. I dare not take it, not even to keep it safe, unused. The wish to wield it would be too great for my strength." Did you hear that? Because it is the master key to this whole episode. Gandalf is not afraid he would lose. He is afraid he would win. The way the ring gets to him is not power lust, it is pity, the wish to use strength to do good, and that door leads straight to a tyrant who calls himself merciful. Tolkien assures, Gandalf as a ring lord would stay righteous and turn self-righteous, ruling for everyone's benefit whether they liked it or not. He would protect you into submission. Now the part the lore forums love. The ring's nearest brush with disaster on Gandalf's watch came in Moria, sideways. On the bridge of Khazad-dûm, Gandalf falls into the abyss with the Balrog, and the Fellowship believes its guide is dead. But notice who was standing a few feet away. The ring-bearer. Gandalf goes into that pit and does not climb out for weeks. For the whole stretch from Moria to Mordor, the most powerful protector of the quest was simply gone, and the ring travelled on with no wizard between it and the wide world, and the ring is patient. By Tolkien's own logic, it always works to return to its master, so even a fumble into that abyss would not have been the end. It would have crept back out, eventually, into far worse hands. Gandalf's refusal in the Shire and his fall on the bridge are two sides of one coin. The quest's best chess piece kept choosing not to grab the ring, then took himself off the board so the small hands could carry it instead. A sneakier, but another highly ranked near miss, and a great future what if. Is it the strongest, though? Let's see. Now a big one. The near miss where the wrong hands belong to the original owner. By the end, Aragorn marches a frankly suicidal army of 6,000 to the Black Gate of Mordor. Militarily it is madness, but strategically it is the bravest bluff in Middle-earth's history. The whole point is to be loud, to look like a ring-backed power play, and to make Sauron stare so hard at the front door that he forgets to check his own back garden, where two starving hobbits are crawling toward the fire. And the bluff works because Sauron cannot imagine the truth. He has no ring radar, contrary to popular belief. Once it slipped past his Nazgul, he was guessing. So he assumes the heir of Isildur has claimed the ring and is coming to take the throne by force. The mouth of Sauron even sneers at Frodo as a spy from the little rat land of the Shire, a scout, a nobody. The single greatest threat to Sauron's existence was so far beneath his notice that he mistook the ring-bearer for an errand boy. And this is why it counts as a near miss, and not just a clever plan. If Sauron's gaze had drifted east at the wrong moment, off Aragorn's army and onto the mountain, he would have seen them. The whole gambit balanced on the Dark Lord's pride being a bigger blind spot than his vigilance. The ring nearly fell back into Sauron's hand, because he was one stray glance from spotting it himself. And in his actual presence, holding the ring from him was hopeless. Of mortals, no one, not even Aragorn. Before we visit near miss number 5, if you are the kind of person who pauses a film to argue about what the book actually said, you are home. Please subscribe to Fool of a Tube for lore at a pace that respects your sanity. Back to the close calls. And so we arrive at the cruelest near miss of all, the one where the wrong hands are the right hands, the hero of our story's hands. Frodo stands at the cracks of doom. He has walked across a continent, starved, been stabbed, strangled, and hollowed out by the very thing he carries. He has earned the ending, and at the final step, with the whole world watching whether it knows it or not, he turns and claims it.
I have come, but I do not choose now to do what I came to do. I will not do this deed. The ring is mine.
And he puts it on. The mission fails, and in that instant, the good guys lose. What saves the world is not heroism, but Gollum, all teeth and obsession, biting the ring from Frodo's hand and toppling, ring and all, into the fire. The pity Frodo and Bilbo showed Gollum much earlier is the only reason the wretched creature is still alive to do the one useful thing left in him. Tolkien was strikingly honest that Frodo failed at the end, and equally insistent that this was not a moral failure.
At the last moment, the pressure of the ring would reach its maximum,
he wrote.
Impossible, I should have said, for anyone to resist.
Frodo spent himself completely. The rest was grace. And now the counterfactual that closes the loop. Suppose Gollum had missed, and Frodo had simply kept it. Tolkien states, Sauron would have flung the Nazgul at him, and the Wraiths would not have attacked. They would have bowed. They would have called him Lord, and coaxed him out of the chamber to look upon his new kingdom, stalling until Sauron arrived in person. And then a confrontation with a result Tolkien called inevitable. Frodo, in his words, crushed to dust or preserved in torment as a gibbering slave. The kindest fate the ring offered its final bearer was a quick death. The ring-wraiths kneeling and calling you Lord is the worst job interview in literature, because the position is already filled and you are the severance package. So there is the full road, and the 5 times it nearly ended. The Black Riders, foiled by elvish song and their own incompetence. Boromir at Amon Hen, undone by his own decency. Gandalf, who kept refusing the prize, and then fell into a pit to keep carrying it honest. Sauron at the Black Gate, one careless glance from catching the whole thing himself. And Frodo at the very end, who reached the fire and could not let go. It was never going to be safe in anyone's hands, because the ring doesn't corrupt strangers, it corrupts the people closest to it, using whatever they love most as the lever. Save your people. Do some good and finish the job. Every noble reason was just another handle for the same trap. The only winning move was the one that looked like failure. Throw it away, and let mercy and a great deal of luck do the rest. Thanks for walking the quest to Mount Doom with Fool of a Tube. If this made you want to reread The Council of Elrond, chapter at 1 in the morning, the evening was well spent. Let us know how you would rank the near misses. Which one administered squeaky bum the most? Next time, we open a fresh corner of Middle-earth and go looking for trouble, because Tolkien always left some lying around. Until then, keep your rings hidden, your companions honest, and if a tall stranger offers to carry the dangerous jewelry just to keep it safe, tell him Gandalf already said no.